What's going on, everybody? G Money here. You guys recommended that you wanted to see weapon reviews for The Last of Us, so that is exactly what I'm going to bring you here. Today, in this episode, we're going to be covering the handguns in The Last of Us, and this is going to be split into 5 parts, and the next part will cover the two-handed weapons. But for now, we're going to be covering the 9mm, the revolver, and the Shorty. Really quickly, so you know how these reviews are going to go, at the end, when I'm done talking about a weapon, I'm going to give it either a green check mark, which means it's absolutely recommended, it's good in almost any situation, a yellow question mark, which means it's considerable, perhaps maybe in certain situations it can be useful, but not something I'd recommend all the time to have. Or if I think that there's a weapon that you should just avoid at all costs, I'll give it a big red X. So with that being said, guys, let's get into the Revolver, which is the first handgun that is available in the class loadout menu. So the Revolver is basically a slower, more powerful version of the 9mm handgun. That's probably obvious, but what's great about the Revolver, obviously, is that it's free. It doesn't cost any loadout points, which is an immediate plus. But we went in and we tested the damage of the Revolver, and we were pretty surprised to find that it takes only 3 hits to kill somebody with the Revolver, if you hit them in the body. And again, that's assuming that they have full health and no armor. It takes 3 hits, and basically each bullet does 35 damage. If you were to convert the 5 bars of health to like a 100-point health system, essentially each bullet from a Revolver does 35 damage, which means it takes about 3 hits. When you shoot someone in the head with the Revolver, it actually takes away 3.5 bars of health, which is like 75 points of health or so. Now, what's great about the Revolver is when you need to purchase ammo for it mid-game, the ammo for it is very cost efficient. You get 4 bullets for 180 parts. Now, 180 parts is kind of high, but considering that you get 4 bullets, which is enough to kill potentially 2 people if you are careful with your headshots, and definitely at least 1 person, that's a pretty good price. Now, the only downsides I can really find with the Revolver is that it's kind of slow, the fire rate isn't great, and there's a bit of recoil, so what you have to do is you have to be very careful with your shots. If you're the type of person who likes to spray and pray, I definitely recommend you take a closer look at the 9mm, which I'll be getting into in a second, but that doesn't really work with the Revolver. You can't spray and pray, you have to line up your shots and be careful, because otherwise you're going to wind up running out of ammo, or end up in a situation where you have to reload, and that's just a tactic that doesn't work with the Revolver. So what's great about the Revolver is it's powerful, it's versatile, it can be used long range, close range, whatever. You have a pretty decent clip size and it's cost efficient. And the only downside to it really is that it's less reliable, I would say, than the 9mm. Again, because you have to be careful with your shots. It's accurate, it's just that it has a lot of recoil and a smaller clip. So you have to be more careful with timing your shots with it. So it's not quite as reliable. However, it's still a very good weapon, it's very powerful, and it can be used in any situation, really, very effectively. So the Revolver definitely comes recommended for me. It really depends on your playstyle whether or not you want to go with the Revolver or the 9mm. So let's get into the 9mm. The 9mm is a very fast, very accurate, very reliable weapon. It's my personal favorite handgun. It's the one I use the most. With the 9mm, you get 10 bullets per clip, and as far as damage goes, when we tested it, each shot from a 9mm to the body does 1 bar of health, which is equivalent to 20 out of 100 points, if you want to do that way. It does about 20 points of damage. If you hit someone in the head, however, it does 60 points of damage. Now, what's interesting about this is that it does almost as much damage to the head as the Revolver, and that's something to consider. With the Revolver, there's no particular increase in headshot damage. It's a few points, it's a little bit. But with both guns, it's a 2-hit kill to the head. So that's perhaps something you want to consider, because with the 9mm, you're getting a larger clip, quicker reload times, faster fire rate, less recoil, and yet it's still a 2-hit kill to the head. However, it is a 5-hit kill to the body, which is a bit more than the Revolver. Still, though, you're getting more bullets per clip. You start out with more bullets, and ammo is cheaper and you get more bullets. It's kind of an equal trade-off, though, because you get 5 bullets for 150 parts, but again, it takes more bullets to kill someone, so it's about equal with the Revolver. It's cheaper, but you're getting maybe less bang for your buck, no pun intended. But overall, I really love the 9mm, and of course, another strength that the 9mm has that the revolver doesn't is that it can be silenced, which means, it doesn't take off any damage, it doesn't decrease the range of the weapon at all. It just means that you won't show up on the radar when you're shooting. So if you have a stealthy playstyle or you have a stealthy class, definitely pick the 9mm, the silenced 9mm, over the revolver because that'll help you stay stealthy. I should also mention the 9mm is also free and doesn't cost any loadout points, unless of course you're going to do silenced, in which case it costs 2 loadout points. But the 9mm is a great weapon. It's very versatile, great in a lot of situations. It also comes very recommended from me. Then there's the Shorty, which is the odd one out of these 3 handguns. It's very different. It's like a shotgun pistol. You get 2 bullets per clip. When you want to purchase ammo, you get 1 bullet for $80. So if you want to fill up a clip, it costs $160. Now, the good thing about that is with, you're spending $160, sure, but 2 bullets is enough to kill someone at close range. It really depends on what map you're on. Like, in a map like Lakeside, I don't think I could recommend the Shorty because it's lots of wide open areas where there's lots of distance between you and your enemies. However, in a close range map like Checkpoint, the Shorty could be very effective. So when we went in and we tested the damage that the Shorty does at the optimal range, at pretty close range, we found it to do about 3 bars of damage with a shot to the body, and about the exact same 3 bars of damage to the head. That was a little bit surprising. I thought that at close range, 1 shot to the head might be enough to kill somebody, but it's not. And in fact, you don't even get a headshot bonus, it seems, with this gun. So that's something to keep in mind. However, at short range, you are doing 3 bars of damage. That's more than the 9mm and the revolver. At longer range, we found that depending on how far away you are, at medium to longish range, you get more like 1 or 2 bars of damage, which is okay, but considering you have only 2 shots before you have to reload, really there's no point in choosing the Shorty unless you're going to be at close range quite often. There's no other reason to use it other than being in close range. So what I like about the Shorty is it's very powerful at close range, it does 3 bars of damage. It's got decent range, again, considering it's a shotgun. It still does some damage even at a distance. If someone's weakened, you might be able to take them out even at longer range. And it's pretty cost efficient with the bullets and the ammo. It's not too expensive. However, it does cost 1 loadout point, which is disappointing. And if you want to get a silenced Shorty, that's 3 points. It's also not really versatile. As I said, it's only good at close range. So I'd say the Shorty is worth considering. I can't honestly recommend it because it's not particularly reliable. It's not good in a lot of situations. However, depending on your play style and depending on the map you're in, it could be very effective. So it's worth a look. It's worth perhaps experimenting with. It's not a bad weapon. I just don't think it's as reliable as the 9mm or the revolver. So that just about wraps it up, guys. That's episode 1 of Weapon Reviews. In episode 2, we'll be covering the two-handed weapons, which is burst rifle, the hunting bow, the hunting rifle, and the semi-auto rifle. If you enjoyed the video, if it was helpful to you, please click like, and let me know if there's something I didn't cover in this episode that you want me to cover next time with the future weapons, or anything I can improve, or any ideas in general. I'm open to suggestions. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. I'll talk to you guys in the comments.